Hi Gotham. Woo! What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So, I completely forgot about doing this Q&A. Like, I posted it on my Instagram, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and I just completely forgot, you know, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start doing the Q&A now. Everybody asked me on Instagram, I screenshotted it, and I'm pretty much gonna be going from there. I'm also using Hector's wide angle lens, if you guys haven't realized, so yeah. So, first question, would you sell me your wheels? Love your channel, by the way, keep doing what you're doing. No, I wouldn't sell my wheels, not because, it's not that I don't want to get rid of them, it's just that they're just not worth me selling to anybody. They're in pretty bad shape, and I just wouldn't sell it to anybody. If I did happen to want to sell them in the future, I would just take an offer for it, you know, like I'm not gonna put a specific number on it because of the condition that they're in. They're all curb rashed, and they just need some good detail cleaning to them. LX manual or EXL manual Civic? Civic Si, sorry. Favorite interior, exterior, color combo, any Gen Civic. I just like black interior, black and red. Black and red interiors always look great to me. The fact that mine is already black with red gauges inside, it's a plus, and that was probably like one of the biggest reasons on why I actually wanted to get the SI. The gauges is what I pretty much got the SI without knowing what I was gonna get myself into, and the gauges was one of the big parts because I've always wanted to have gauges like that, and you know, yeah, so just red and black. What color will your next Type R be? Well, if I had a first Type R, you know, that'd be great, but I really want that gray one. I'm not gonna say Nardo gray, but I want like a dark gray as my next car. What do you plan for your Civic? Also, do you have any advice on starting a car channel? As of right now, I'm saving money because I want to see where I'm gonna put the Civic in. Hector really wants to buy my Civic, so that way I can just get another car. That way I can get a newer car, but then that means I have to start all over again on payments, and as of right now, I'm financially stable where I'm at. And I'm also saving because I want to say a couple months ago, one of you guys reached out to me and said, hey, I'll sell you my CT supercharger kit for $2 grand. And I had to say no because I didn't have the money. So if I ever get an offer like that again, you know I'm gonna jump on it, you know, because $2 grand for a supercharger kit, I had to say no to it because I didn't have money for it, just tells you that I should have had money saved up. So right now I'm saving up money. Any advice on starting a car channel? Dude, just start it. I mean, it took me a while to get familiar with editing. It took me a while to get familiar with cameras. And I started with my iPhone and it worked great. I still use my iPhone from here and there every now and then. Right now I'm using my Canon TSX Si. But every now and then I'll use my iPhone because an iPhone camera is just as great, shoots in 4K. So it's just start it, just look confident on camera and you'll be fine, man. Also, do you ever think of doing any auto? Alright, that laughed though. Do you ever think of doing autocross? It'd be awesome to see the Civic rip up an old parking lot. Yeah, I do. Once Ruthless Racing comes back to Camarillo, I'm gonna go ahead and sign up for that and go from there. It's in the Camarillo airport. I believe it's like about 70 bucks to sign up, and all cars are welcome. So as soon as I see that they're coming back, then I'm gonna do it because Camarillo is the next city over, and it just makes more sense for me to do that versus driving all the way to LA to do one. Have you ever driven a 5th gen Prelude? If so, how does it drive versus your SI? Unfortunately, I have not driven a 5th gen Prelude, but I have driven a 4th gen, and the 4th gen is one of my favorite Hondas that from the 90s, other than the NSX. That's like one of my favorite 4-wheel drive Hondas that to date. I just don't know. I don't know why. Something about them I just really enjoy, and I wouldn't mind picking one up sometime in the future as a daily. But I also do want to like step out of the Honda game and like try other cars, but we'll get to that. When are you gonna get your RPF ones for the SI? As of right now, I could jump on them, but like I mentioned, I do want to save up a little bit more money just in case something pops up, and I really do want to get RPF ones, but now I'm like leaning more towards Graham Light's 57 DRs. So I'm like, I think it's called Hyper Blue ones. Like I'm really leaning more to these wheels just because, I don't know, like something about them I've always liked. Nothing wrong with RPF ones, but those ones are like really like getting me. Like if I do stick with the Civic, I think that's what I'm gonna get. I don't know, so. How are the Federals? Now that I'm driving it more and more, I am starting to like them a little bit, but I probably wouldn't get them again. I'm probably gonna be getting some different types of tires like Yokohama's or maybe even back to Sumitomo's. I don't know yet, but I am sticking to 235/40. I do like the tire spec on that. Do you plan on getting a new car, and will you keep the Civic? The only new car I would get is the Civic Si, the new Civic Si, the 10th gen. It's just the most financial and logical car for me to get. That way I can still put out good, decent content for you guys, some decent installs. Because the Type R, as much as I want it just wouldn't be financially smart for me to do that right now, especially because I still have other payments that I'm trying to pay off since I messed up when I was younger. So I mean, I would like to get a new SI and then eventually come back to the 8th gen, because the 8th gen just grew to me so hard. If I could, I would keep the 8th gen and get a new SI, but where I'm at right now, you just can't have any more cars, like, you know, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because then if I do that, I have to pay for parking for another car. It's more insurance for me a month, you know, so I would love to keep the SI, but I would have to see where I'm at first. But if I did happen to get a new car, like fresh off the lot, it would be a Civic Si, just because it's just more convenient for me. 40 mpg on the highway and a turbo, what's not to like? Yes, I know they have their flaws, but every car has flaws. I mean, look at the 8th gen, that has a lot of flaws. But as a new car, it'd be fine. Ever plan on getting a 9th gen, 10th gen, or even a Type R? Which one and why? I would really, one thing I would really like to do in the future is own a 9th, 10th, and 11th, an 8th, 9th, and 10th. Like I said, Type R, I would love one, but it's just too expensive. Like, it's not. If I had to choose between a house or a Type R, dude, I would pick a house, you know, or a better apartment. Like, I love the Type R, man, but it's just not financially smart for me to get that. But it'd be a pretty cool, that's my ringtone when I get a text. If you know, you know. But yeah, I would love to get a 9th gen sometime. I'd probably get the sedan. Nothing wrong with the coupe, but I feel like the sedan just looks better in my opinion. 10th gen, like I said, I want one, but I would definitely get a coupe. I don't like the sedans one bit at all. Like, I just don't like the sedans on the 10th gens. I don't like how they look. What is your dream car and why? I have a lot of dream cars because I am a car guy. I do like eventually want to own a GTR one day. I probably wouldn't want to own it forever, but I'd want to own a GTR one day. Why? Because they're cool. A lot of people like them. Not everybody wants them, but my dream is an NSX. It is, I don't know which one I like more, the 90s NSX or the 2005, early 2000s NSX. I know the differences between the engines and the cosmetics and the transmission. Like, I know ins and outs of it. I've done so much research. I don't know which one I would settle for. I'm more leaning more towards the 90s version of the NSX with the pop-up headlights. Just, that's like my ultimate dream car, you know. Like, eventually I'd like to get an S2K and then from there graduate to an NSX, because I probably wouldn't keep an S2K forever. You know, so. What is your current ride height and how is it on speed bumps, bad roads with scraping? I don't know how to answer that question because, like, to my current ride height, I mean, I'm low. I don't rub anymore. I feel like the inner fender shaved a good amount of the tire from the rears. How bad it is on speed bumps? It's not bad at all. I mean, I adjusted my dampening to make it even softer. I used to just rub. My coils have 16 levels of dampening, so they're not 32 like the higher end coils, but 16 is more than enough for me, and especially for daily driving. And I used to drive on the stiffest setting on 16, but then I think I softened it to about 12 in the front and 14 in the rear, and it just made the car handle speed bumps and corners so much better, like at least to me, and it just rides smoother that way. So I'm not sure if that answered your question, but that's the best answer I can give. It's not bad with roads or scraping. Like I actually rarely rub. The -2 camber did help a lot. Did you ever fix the rubbing issues with your new tires and alignment? I'm pretty sure that last statement answered it right there. E85 on the Civic soon? Nope, I will never go E85. It's not convenient for me. I have one E85 pump here in Ventura County, and it's not even in my city. It's in Ventura. That's away from the way I drive to work, so I wouldn't go E85 here unless I was able to get like a flex fuel kit, but even then, you know, I'd be spending money on something I wouldn't even be using. 09 SI Coupe, my third gear is gone and fourth grinds. Advice? Thanks in advance. Rebuild the transmission, man? I mean, if your third gear is gone, there's nothing much you can really do to that. Like, and your fourth grinds? I've never grinded on my fourth, so there's obviously got to be some seam grills or some other type of transmission issue. But to get rid of or not get rid of it, but to help it out was I swapped out my transmission fluid with OEM. I also put cable and base bushing cables, and I added a short shifter, and the car just shifts like butter. So have you ever had the car not want to shift into gear with higher RPM, and how did you fix it? Last question right there. Yeah, when I first got it, it did not want to shift. Hey! When I first got the car, it did not want to shift in high RPMs, but I eventually ended up getting an updated OEM, updated slave cylinder, updated. I actually went with a PRL clutch line actually. K20L motor, Emmanuel actually hooked it up. He lives in the next city over. So I got kind of lucky with that. He was able to help me out. He installed it and everything for me and adjusted the CMC for me. And just like the last question, I upgraded some little things here and there to make the shifting better. Would you ever leave the Honda game? What other cars are you into? I would definitely leave the Honda game, but not entirely, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I'm gonna get rid of a Honda anytime soon, if that makes sense. So let's say I had 2 cars, I probably wouldn't get rid of the Honda ever. I do have 4 cars in mind that I would like to have as like a second car, and they're all rear-wheel drives. I've always been into Hyundai Genesis Coupes. I've always been into, obviously, the S2K. I've always been into a 350Z actually. Like, a 350Z is really growing on me, and just how everything you can do those cars. It is really growing on me. I would love to have a 350Z. I mean, you guys already know I'd love to have an FRS. Like, as much as everybody bags on them, I really enjoy driving Victor's FRS, and I wouldn't mind picking up a 6-speed for me sometime in the future. I don't know, but those are the 4 cars that I'm really into as a rear-wheel drive, that are in rear-wheel drive. So I don't know, time will tell, you know. So I would love to like build my car and then have something on the side, or vice versa, you know. So I don't know, there's a lot of possibilities that can happen. I don't want to say something now and then not happen in the future, but I am looking into doing something else to my car. Not gonna say soon, but if it all falls to plan, you guys will enjoy the content, you know. I don't want to spoil anything. When is the next project car? Like I said, I'd really like to have one of those 4 cars, but you know, only time will tell. What do you think of 350Zs? I love them. I really love 350Zs. I would love to have one as a sidecar. ¿Has pensado hacer el Civic Turbo? Saludos desde Puerto Rico. Have you ever thought about turboing the Civic? Saying hi from greetings from Puerto Rico. Y lo quiero poner turbo, pero por ahorita no lo puedo hacer porque tengo otras cosas que tengo que pagar primero antes que yo pongo más dinero en mi Civic. Y no es que no lo quiero hacer, pero como ya estoy creciendo, quiero ganar una casa, tal vez agarrar una familia. Por ahorita no es bueno si yo hago eso, pero si algo pasa donde lo puedo hacer, entonces lo voy a hacer. O algo en esa manera. To translate real quick, I really want to turbo the car, but I wouldn't want to turbo the car because I want to try, you know, having a family, moving into a house or a bigger apartment. Especially living here in California, it just wouldn't be smart for me to daily a turbo. So, yeah. Turbo supercharged for the K20. As much as I love the turbo, I would go with a supercharger. Only because I love the whine more than the turbo squeal. Actually, I don't know. Like, it's really hard. If I had to choose between a turbo supercharger, I mean, obviously I'd go turbo because, you know, turbo. But daily, I would supercharge. Best engine upgrades for power, and also what brands do you recommend? I did a video about that a while back. Intake header exhaust and Honda for sure, and just a tune. You'll get at least you'll get an average of 210 to 225 wheel horsepower depending on what dyno you do it and what your sea level is. As of brand wise, everybody goes with a Skunk 2 header. I'm not gonna say what exhaust you should get, just get with the one that you like the best. And for intake, Skunk 2 or hybrid racing. First thoughts when you bought your Civic, I thought I was driving a spaceship. I'm not gonna lie, because like I mentioned, the gauges were something that I really enjoyed about the car. What made you want to start your YouTube channel? A lot of things, but I've always wanted to start one regardless. I wanted to start one since I was at the age of 18 when I had my Scion TC. I wanted to start one, but I never did because I was always nervous talking behind the camera, even though there isn't an audience here, you know. Eventually that car got totaled and I was really mad at myself for never starting YouTube back then when I was younger, and it was something I dreaded for a while. And when I picked up the Civic, I said, you know what, I want to mod this car. I heard that they're good cars and blah blah blah, and then I got into the Honda game more. It's such a stupid like reason for, but I honestly just forgot that I wanted to do YouTube. And after I lowered the car on Eibach springs and got the wheels on it, I was like, oh, I should film this, you know. And that's when the whole videography started, and here I am. What are your wheel and tire specs? 17 by 9 plus 35 offset, 235 by 40, Federal 595 tires. All my mods are in the description, guys. Why not make an 8th gen meet? Because I don't know a lot of people that drive 8th gens here, and I'm leaning more towards a cruise versus a meet because a cruise is easier for us to get around. But like I said, I just work a lot, guys. It's really difficult for me. Like, I have today off, but it's a Monday, so I know majority of people like to do it on a Saturday or Sunday, so it's kind of difficult to plan that out. What was your first car? 2001 Nissan Altima. I bought it for $300 off the street, and with my dad's help, of course. And I didn't have a job back then, so, and then we took it to our family's mechanic of the family, and he just rebuilt the engine from. And I had the car. The car's still running. It's still in the family. It has over 260,000 miles on it right now. That car's a trooper. I got tired of not having a stick shift, so it's kind of the reason why I'm not driving it right now anymore. Are you bothered by the Civics are gay phrase because people think that phrase will hurt us, but I ignore it? No, because from anyone's point of view at any given time, somebody will not like your car regardless of what car you have. Just because they don't like your style doesn't mean that it's not right for you. I've never been, surprisingly, haven't been called a racer, even though I own a Civic. But I think it's because I try to keep a clean look, you know, like I try not to stand out even though I have white wheels. But up close, it looks like a clean Civic, you know. I've been complimented more than made fun of, so. And then plus, my whole life, I've always dealt with stuff like that. So not a lot that you guys can say to me is really gonna offend me. I laugh it out because I know for a fact that in life, I'm probably in a better spot and better position than a lot of other people are without sounding big-headed. I always try to keep it humble. I never think I'm better than anybody else, but also, I don't take shit from anybody, so. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that was a good amount of questions this time. I mean, it's a longer video, but should be good. If you're new to the channel, meet Gotham. Gotham the pug, like Gotham City. Gotham. Yeah, he's not the cutest, but he's a small pug. He's actually quite fit. He actually likes to run around and like do stuff. Not what I wanted. I think that's gonna be it for today's video. Yeah, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, I will always have a Honda in my life, if for some miraculous reason I can afford the Type R, I'm gonna jump on it, because who doesn't want a Type R? As of right now, it's not logical for me to pick up a Type R. I could afford the 10th gen easily, just not the Type R, because I did the calculations and it's a lot. Unless I put like 10 grand down, it's a lot for monthly payments. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. It really does help your boy out. We're about to pass 12,000 subscribers. The channel's moving pretty good. I'm sure you guys have noticed I've been putting more content out. I told myself that whenever I have the chance to put out content, I'm gonna do it, versus just saying I'll do it next time. And that's probably one of the best advice that I can give to anybody that wants to start a channel of any sort, is just do it. Once you have the camera in front of you or whatever you're filming with and you just start talking, you already started. It's only going to be up to you if you decide not to keep going. So I don't know where this is going to take me in life, but I do hope I get to meet a lot of you guys in the future, but it should be good. I'll see you guys in the video. You guys have a good day. Peace.